To the member for Vermilion-Lloydminster.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Nearly a week has passed since the AAMDC Fall Convention, but I'm still hearing from rural leaders who were upset that only 8 cabinet ministers chose to show up for their ministerial forum. Now, I know that the Environment Minister was off riding on the Marrakesh Express and the Economic Development Minister was on a non-carbon emitting slow boat to China, but that's left 8 other ministers with some explaining to do. To the Indigenous Affairs Minister, what pressing piece of government business kept you from attending AAMDC?
Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Unfortunately, I was caught in the airport for 8 hours in Fort McMurray and missed the event. I am proud to say that I was in Fort McMurray for the Oil Sands Gala, honoring the heroes of the fire of the spring. It was a wonderful evening. We honored many heroes, and I was very proud to spend time in Fort McMurray. Unfortunately, more in the airport than necessary.
Well, Mr. Speaker, given that the Leader of the Opposition drove to Edmonton to be there that morning, while he sat in the airport, that's a pretty weak excuse for someone who shows so much strength in condemning others. So let's move on. Now, given that the rural leaders also noted the absence of the Human Services Minister, and given that this led them to speculate that this minister must feel that there is no need to answer to the pressing needs of rural Albertans who seek to obtain services from his department, to the minister, what pressing piece of government business kept you from attending AAMDC?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, member, for the question. I guess when member was doing the counting, we were doing the real work. We were focused on relationship. We were focused on the relationship that we had with municipalities. And our minister was working with leaders from rural Alberta.
I thought we were going to make some records today and get further down the list, but the last 5 minutes have been very intense. Can you finish your question and then we go to the second supplement? Your answer?
I just wanted to say that we were focused on relationship. We have a very capable minister who deals with the leaders from rural Alberta, and we are working on the priorities there.
Minister. Second supplemental.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I'm sure rural leaders will be interested to know that this minister doesn't consider consulting with them real work. Given that public safety is a major concern in all parts of Alberta, and given that many rural leaders wanted to address the issues of mounting crime in their municipalities, the absence of the Solicitor General was also duly noted. Mr. Speaker, would the minister explain her scheduling decisions, or are rural leaders accurate when they say you and your government must think that criminal activity never happens outside the big cities?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and to the member for the question. So I'll begin by saying that, of course, we think that crime in every part of this province is important. That's why we invest more in policing than any of the other Western provinces. That's why we have the alert model. On that particular day, Mr. Speaker, I was in fact in Red Deer meeting with the Alberta Association of Chiefs of Police to discuss such issues.